Hello everyone, and welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat on an absolutely spectacular Sunday afternoon in southern Oklahoma. It is 75 degrees. Let me say that again. 75 degrees. It's in the 70s all over the state of Oklahoma, as a matter of fact. We've even had some 80s in the last day or two in a place or two out in western Oklahoma. A little breeze blowing. I got down in the valley to do this Sunday afternoon chat. We've been at church. I took Chris to church again for the second straight week. For last week was the first time she had been back to her own church here at Midway Hills Baptist. She had been going to Keys Baptist over on Lake Tenkiller with Sherry and Jamie and Jack and Mandy and Jordan, and I'd been going over there with her on the weekends quite a bit also. I've been to that church a lot more than I've been to our own church, since this happened. But since Chris had that stroke back on April 5, I think that's 31 or 32 weeks ago right now. It's amazing, isn't it? I'll give you a little update on Chris here in a second, but I wanted to start this week's Sunday afternoon chat out by paying tribute to a great fisherman that we lost this week, Aaron Martens. Aaron was a great friend, and more importantly, he is a great gentleman, a great man, a great family man. He had a great wife and beautiful wife, great kids, and we've been very fortunate in the bass fishing industry that we haven't really lost too many people at a younger age. And Aaron, I think, was just about to turn 50. But we lost Guido Hibden a couple of years ago. But it really hurts when you lose a member of the fishing family, because that's what we are as family. We're a tournament family. We're a fishing industry family, and it hurts when we lose folks. And obviously in the fishing industry over the years, we've lost icons like Cotton Cordell and Bill Norman and Jack Smithwick and Bill Bagley and on and on and on. And Charlie Spence, Strike King Lures. It's just so many great friends. And one of the things that you'll find as you get older is you begin to lose a lot of friends. And but Aaron was such a special person. Not only was a great fisherman, but he's just, like I said, a great man. And Aaron actually really was the one to bring drop shot fishing into tournament fishing. Now, we'd been using a drop shot for quite a while before Aaron showed up on a circuit back in our part of the country. He's fishing out on the West Coast, I think, a lot with it. But he's the one that came back and showed the rest of us really how dynamite drop shotting was. And he had a lot of disciples that have just won tons of money on it. One, my great buddy, Edwin Evers. Ed was just made a fortune, actually, a bass fishing fortune, fishing a drop shot rig. And I got to tell you, I fished with Edwin, and he's great with every kind of bait. Don't let it fool you that he's just a drop shot expert, which he is. He's an expert with a jig and a spinner bait and a crankbait and a topwater and everything else, just like most of the professional fishermen are. But Aaron's one that really got it into East Coast bass fishing, as we call it in our part of the country, fishing FLW and BASS, and then he's the one that really showed people that this was a technique you could win a lot of money on. And but more important than his fishing ability was the kind of person he was. And I could tell you quite a few stories about Aaron in the tournaments. And the one thing I remember so distinctly is that he was always willing to help you. He was always willing to tell you what he was doing and how he was doing it. I remember one time in particular, I think we were fishing, I believe it might have been one Lake Cumberland. Anyway, one of those lakes over on the East Coast. And I was going down a bank, and he was coming down the bank the other way. And as he got kind of close to me, there was one log on the bank. One log was all that was laying on the bank. And as he got close to that log, he picked his spinnerbait up and he threw it over, and he come down that log, and a 2.5 or 3 pound fish jumped up there and ate it. And he caught it and throwed it in the boat, and he said, "How you doing, Jimmy?" And I said, "Well, I've got 3, I still need a couple." I said, "You got your limit?" And he said, "Yeah, I got my limit." And he said, that culls one right here, that culled one. I said, "Well, I thought it did. I thought I saw you throw one back." I didn't pay a whole lot of attention, and I said, "Have you caught him on a spinnerbait?" And because I'd caught like one on a spinnerbait, but that's all. He said, "Yeah, Jimmy, you're not going to believe it, but I'm going to tell you that's the first cast I made all day with a spinnerbait." And I think he just did it because he saw me coming down that bank meeting him, and he decided that he'd pick that spinnerbait up and throw it on a great spinnerbait piece of cover along. But he's the kind of guy that was always tell you what he was doing. He would share his information with you, and a lot of that happened back at the hotel. You know, we stayed in the same hotel as Aaron several times over the years, like we have with just about everybody. And a lot of them won't tell you nothing. They're so secretive, and if they tell you something, they'll lie to you. We have a few liars out there on the tournament trail, but Aaron would share with you what he was doing and try to help you if he could, and I would try to help him if I could, you know, and we trusted each other, and we knew we were telling each other the truth. But the tournament fishing game and family has lost an important family member in Aaron Martens, and I just want to give a shout out to his wife and kids and tell you that we love you. We love you. We love you just like we love Aaron, and Aaron is going to be missed at the tournaments. There's no doubt about it. A great person, a great family man, and a great friend. A little quick update on Chris. You know, it's been now about 3 weeks since she had that stem cell therapy or infusion, whatever, transplant, whatever you want to call it. A couple 100 million stem cells put in through an IV. Those of you that haven't seen that, we have a YouTube video about that here that you can watch and see exactly how that went. It's not that exciting, but it's actually a pretty simple process. But honestly, everybody asks me everywhere I go, can you tell any difference? Can you tell any difference? And I don't know that I can or not. Chris is still improving a little bit every day, but she was improving a little bit every day already. So I don't know that it sped that process up. But you think about it for a minute, from a cell, it takes 9 months to grow a baby. It takes 9 months to grow a baby. That's what my daughter reminded me of. Of course, that's what the ladies would think about. And so I don't know how long it'll take all of this to work. I know that they won't give her another infusion for 6 months if we want to take a second one. But so it's going to continue to work. It's not a deal that's going to go in there and create miracles overnight. The stem cells are going to continue to work, continue to heal Chris's brain, and that's the part of her body that's damaged the most. Even though her right arm and her right leg didn't work very well, that's the part that needs to be repaired, and that's where I think most of those stem cells are going to concentrate their work. And God's going to make every little cell do its job. God's going to make every little cell do its job. This past week, I've had Chris here with me all week. I've had her here for over a week, as a matter of fact, and we've just really enjoyed ourselves. Chris sleeps a lot during the day. She sleeps late in the morning. She eats breakfast and then takes a nap in the morning around, and then takes another nap in the afternoon and goes to bed early. So she does an awful lot of sleeping. I can't leave her alone, so I can't go out and go run around the ranch for 2 or 3 hours, but I can get out. Sometimes I'll walk down to the dock and make a few casts. Sometimes I'll just walk in the woods a little bit. And I tell her, you know, honey, when you go to sleep now, I'm gonna go out and go around. So if you need me and you holler at me, look who just heard me talking and come running up here. Look at this. Hi there, Forrest. Are you chasing? Look at him. Look at him. I don't know if I'm watching him there or not. There he goes. There he goes. He came by and he heard me talking. I thought he was coming up to me, but he's got his nose to the ground. He's chasing. He's after a doe. And Forrest is the only deer we're seeing very much around. I don't know if you can see him over or not. I'm just sort of pointing in that direction. I have no idea, really. I've got this set up on a tripod, so I really don't know. But anyway, Forrest is back there. Now I'm not level, but we can live with not being level. We don't care. We don't care. We're just friends. But he come running up from the draw down there, and he's out chasing girls. I would like to get him in the pen, but I can't. Talk to you about that a little bit too. But we're seeing not many deer around the house. One of the reasons we're not seeing many around the house is we have a lot of the does that were hanging around, we've put back in the pen. We've fed them and got them to go back in the pen, and they're in there with Whitey. Whitey's got 16 mature does, 1 year-old doe, or yearling doe, just a few months, 6 or 7 months old, and in there. And I'd like to get Forrest in there with them in a separate pen and put part of those does with Forrest. But if Whitey breeds all 17 of them, that's great, because Whitey is the most spectacular deer on the place, absolutely no doubt about it. But back to Chris. Sherry and I went to Tulsa this last week on a Wednesday, and we spent all day in rehab training to do rehab and training to do the things that Chris needed to do. And so every single day I've been spending a lot of my time, and I have to apologize because I haven't been doing a very good job at answering comments at all. And of course, we're getting more and more comments all the time, more and more people all the time. We've got over 18,000 people on our Catch of the Day channel. By the way, if you're not subscribed to the Catch of the Day channel, we've got over 111,000 people on YouTube, over 600,000 on Facebook. So that's 700,000 folks. I know some of you are on both, but anyway, 600,000 or 700,000 folks and only 18,000 on Catch of the Day channel. So if you're not subscribed to the Catch of the Day channel, go in there and subscribe to that channel right now. Right now, go in there and subscribe to the Catch of the Day. Absolutely free. Those of you on Facebook, doesn't cost anything. It's a YouTube channel. Subscribe to that, and you know, you don't have to listen to every devotion every day, but just you can even go back here and look at some of them we've done in the past, and you might get kind of hooked on listening to them and listening to God's Word, and God will start working in your life in miraculous ways. In miraculous ways. If your life is not absolutely perfect, you need God in your life a little bit bigger and better. And if you will just watch those videos, listen to those videos every single day, or just every now and then, I promise you God will work in your life in a magical way. But anyway, getting back to Chris, I know I'm rambling around here, and I hate to do that, and everybody hates for me to do it, but I can't help it. I just absolutely can't help it. By the way, we went to Brahms after church, speaking of rambling, and I got one of those eggnog sundaes with my burger, and I got the spoon, and the spoons are little bitty tiny spoons. They're like 1/2 size of a regular spoon. Now, I'm not complaining to Brahms or anything, but I guess if they get those little bitty tiny spoons, maybe it's a penny or two less, and they probably go through millions of spoons a year. So like Ben Franklin said, a penny saves, a penny earned. It's probably a lot of money. But I got to tell you, that little bitty spoon doesn't fit my big mouth very good. We had a great Brahms burger, and Chris had some chicken tenders, and we run into our preacher there and run into quite a few other people there in Brahms. It's kind of a meeting place on Sunday after church, and so that was great. That was really a good deal. But anyway, we've been doing the rehab with Chris. I've been going through the speech rehab. I've got sentences down that I'm going through with her, and she can read. And she can read, she knows what she's reading, but it doesn't always go and come out the right word. But she's doing just great at that. You know, I mean, she goes, my name is Chris, my husband's name is Jimmy, my son's name is Jamie, I have a black lab named Beamer, and on and on and on. And we've got 2 or 3 pages of those sentences, and then we've got the program on the iPad that we use. And I can tell every single day that her speech is getting better. She had gotten a bad habit of just making a noise when she wanted something done. Like if I forgot to give her glasses, you know, I get her dressed in the morning, forgot to give her glasses, she goes, you know, like if something's wrong, you know, like a caveman woman or something, you know. And I said, you quit making noises. You say a word. She looked at me and she said, word. Word. I said, that's fine. Say word. I don't care. But don't be making those noises. That's not going to count anymore. I don't want to hear any noises. I want to hear a word. I said, I don't care if you say Jimmy, stop, murder, word, fish. I don't care what you say. Just say something. Say a word. And but her speech is getting better every single day. So I'm working at rehab. I am also walking with her. I get her up and have her walk clear across the floor, turn her around and have her walk back to her chair. She's walking a little bit more every single solitary day, and I'm making her pretty much get up all by herself. Her right leg is occasionally it'll take one full step. Most of the time I have to get my knee behind her. It's kind of fun to get behind her too. I get behind her and I push her on her knee a little bit, and it'll bend and cause her to take that step, and then she'll use her hemi and take it. It's a very, very slow, awkward looking process. I might try to video some of that, you know, and where you can see what's going on there. I've been trying to get her down to the dock fishing and let her use one of my extendable Jimmy Houston telescopic cane poles. Those are just great, and I've got 3 or 4 of them, and she can use her left arm, and hopefully maybe she can catch a crappie or a bluegill or bass or something. She keeps saying no, no, no. I think she just doesn't want to go down that hill, and that's a pretty steep hill down to our dock in that wheelchair. And then, of course, pushing her back up, it's going to be a pretty good chore. I may have to hook a winch up to it, winch her back up, and I don't know. All right, what are you doing, Jimmy? I'm winching Chris back up the hill. Winching the winch up back up the hill. But anyway, the rehab that we're doing at home is helping. When Sherry gets back, her and Jack went out to Vegas for the premiere of America's Got Talent. They had a great deal. They went to Circa del A or Del Sol or something, Circa del Sol or whatever that is, and saw the show on the Beatles. They said that was just absolutely awesome. They're on their way back as I speak right now. They're on their way back, and I'll be taking Sherry over there on. I'm taking Chris over to Sherry's on Wednesday. I will be in Evansville, Indiana on this coming Friday and Saturday. I will be at the tackle show, the antique tackle show. I think they call that vintage lure show or something there in Evansville, Indiana. If you're anywhere around close, you just got to go to that show. I'll be there Friday evening, I think from 6 to 9, then Saturday morning from 9 until about noon. We got a lot of prizes and stuff we're going to give away. I got millions and millions of dollars worth of antique lures there. It's absolutely a spectacular show. And so if you're anywhere around close to Evansville, Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky's not even very far away from Evansville, Indiana, come over there and go to that show. It's the biggest show in the whole area for antique lures, and you will be absolutely astounded. And like I said, I'll be there. I want to visit with all of you. So I know we've got a lot of great friends up in Indiana. So if you're anywhere close to Evansville, Indiana, come by and visit us. I'll be there this coming Friday, and then I'll also be there Saturday morning. So it's a great antique lure show. I can't remember exactly what they call it. I think we've stuck that banner up on our Facebook page. You might take a look at that there. But that's where I'll be this coming Friday and Saturday, and Chris will be back over at Sherry, and Sherry will be doing the rehab. We both took the training on how to do it. But I'm telling you, I can see little differences every day. These are baby step deals we're calling. It's 31 weeks, but she's so much better off than she was back as we just looked back 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks ago. Pecans, we are shipping pecans right now. They are going out. Some of you have already got your pecans. Go to jimmyhouston.com to look at our pecans. I think we've held them in at the same price as last year. The shipping may be a little bit higher. I'm not sure about that. I just saw where FedEx put a gas surcharge on all their shipments beginning this past week because our government has seen fit to try to shut down the gas and oil industry, and it's driven prices up from about $1.99 a gallon to about $3.50 or $4 or $5 a gallon, depending on where you live. It's over $3 a gallon here in southern Oklahoma, and it was under $2 a gallon back when the new government took over in January and started trying to kill the oil and gas industry, which I don't think they can, but they're sure trying. And we probably look back at this time in a few more months and say $3 gas was a bargain and it was cheap, and we probably won't even, it's going to be hard to go fishing. You have to put your boat in the water, put your Minn Kota down, and just go half the day one way and turn around and come half the way back the other day. Make sure you got good Super Start batteries in there, because you're going to need good battery power if you don't fire your Mercury motor up. But anyway, we got the pecans. You can call us on our pecan phone number, area code 580-618 7260, I think. 580-618-7260 is our pecan phone, but you can order right there on that jimmyhouston.com. We are shipping out a lot of pecans right now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what our preachers preached about the last couple of weeks. And I want to end this Sunday afternoon chat by talking about the promises that God has made in the Bible. God promised us a lot. Obviously, He promises us eternal life with Him in heaven. That's the big promise. But did you know that there's over 7,000 promises that God has made to you and me in the Bible? Over 7,000. We could take any single promise and talk about it for a long time. But I want to talk about the promise God made to us, that they talked about that we are made in His image, and He made us for a purpose. We are purposeful. We have a purpose in this life. And one of the reasons I bring that up is because I know that there are a lot of you out there right now that think you're really not worth a whole lot. Do you think that maybe you're not working, maybe you're retired, or maybe you're disabled, maybe you're in a wheelchair, maybe you're whatever, but maybe you've lost your family and you've got to the point where most of your family has gone on ahead of you, and whatever, or maybe you just lost your job. Maybe you're not old at all, but maybe you just lost your job, or you've maybe you're homeless, maybe you're out in the streets, maybe you're homeless, and you're thinking that I'm not worth much of anything to anybody. Can I tell you that you are? Can I tell you that God has built you for a purpose, and He's got a meaning for your life every single day? That's one of the promises, is that God has a purpose for you. He has a purpose for you tomorrow, the next day, the next day, the next day, every single day, every single day. And if you don't know what that purpose is, just pray to Him and ask Him what He wants you to do, and He'll tell you. He'll got your Holy Spirit inside of you, and He'll tell you exactly. And one of the promises other than purpose is hope, which is one of the promises of God that I stand on all the time. And I'm standing on the promises of God every single day of my life. And the promise of hope, I'm standing on the promise of hope right now that God's going to totally, completely heal Chris. And I know He is. I have that hope. I have that promise. All my hope is in Jesus, not on anything else. All my hope is on Jesus. And but no matter what kind of circumstance you're going through, no matter what kind of situation, God has a purpose for you in this life. I don't care if you're 20, I don't care if you're 60, I don't care if you're 90. God has a purpose for you. As long as He's kept you here, as long as you're breathing, He has a purpose for your life. And use it. Use that purpose. And, pray and ask God. God will give you what you pray for. God will give you wisdom. You think you need wisdom, you're not very smart? Pray for wisdom. God will give you wisdom. He'll give you a lot of wisdom. That's one of the best things in the world you can pray for, by the way, anyway. But you have a purpose in your life. If you think you're not good to anybody or for anybody, get that thought out of your mind. God designed you for a purpose. And if you didn't have a purpose, He would have already carried you home. He would have already carried you home. Don't dwell on anything that's bad. Don't think about circumstances or what's happening in the past, or relationships that's gone wrong, or family members that have gone on to be with the Lord, or sicknesses or illnesses that you're trying to fight through like we're doing right now with Chris. Don't think about those things at all. Think about all the good things that God's given you. Think about all the blessings. All the blessings. Count your many blessings. Count them one by one. You'll still be counting this time next year. I promise you. Just try writing them down a while and then look and see if you can dwell on bad stuff. You have a purpose in life. You have a purpose. God has designed you with a purpose, and He's given you hope. He's given you hope for a better tomorrow, and He'll be there to guarantee that you have that. Guys and girls, go out there and have you a great one today. And remember, I sure do love you.